into your calling, stand in His strength. This is the moment, this is the sound. Disciples rising, you've got a calling, a fire inside, fueled by the Spirit, bold and alive. So rise beyond ordinary.
Hey everyone, welcome back to session 5 of our Rise Beyond Ordinary journey. Let me just say this up front. This session is about elevating your expectations of your walk with God, your purpose, and the people you disciple. So let's call it what it is. It's time to set the bar high, because following Jesus is not about coasting. It's not about checking off the boxes like we've talked about already. And it's definitely not about being lukewarm. It's about giving God our everything.
The phrase "set the bar high" comes from the world of sports, specifically the high jump and pole vault. Athletes raise the bar to test the limits of what's possible. And every time they jump, they're going all in. Now imagine showing up to the competition with zero effort, no training, no fire. Why even be there? That's how many people treat their spiritual life. Many people don't feel the need to raise the bar in their spiritual lives because they're too focused on raising the bar in every other area of their life. For one reason or another, many followers of Christ have forgotten that our spiritual life is actually the most important part of who we are. When we prioritize our walk with God above all else, every other part of our life begins to thrive because it's being guided by God, not the other way around.
Listen, I'm a huge sports fan. I love the thrill of competition. But what really makes it exciting is watching people who've put in the grind. I mean, like really sacrificed, who've trained like their life depends on it. That's how it should look with our faith too. Can you imagine if we gave God the same kind of passion that athletes give their sport? What if we woke up every day thinking, how can I honor God with excellence today?
Some people drift. They live with no aim, no fire, no drive. They settle for mediocrity and then wonder why they feel unfulfilled. Others, well, they raise the bar high. They pursue God's calling with intensity. They may not be perfect, but they are progressing, filled by grace and committed to spiritual growth.
Here's what Jesus says in Luke 14. If anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother, wife and children, yes, even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. Now that sounds intense, because it is. Jesus isn't lowering the bar to get more followers. He's actually raising it, because discipleship requires total commitment. No excuses, no idols, no half-hearted devotion. You don't become strong by going to the gym once a month. And you don't become spiritually strong by showing up to church for an hour a week. Discipleship is a daily pursuit. It's slow, it's gritty, consistent growth. But over time, it transforms you. Here's the good news. God understands we're not perfect. He died on the cross because of it. Thank you, Jesus. He's asking us for progress in a heart that refuses to settle for less. As I mentioned in the first video, we call this being fact. He wants us faithful, available, and teachable. These are the kinds of people we invest in. Not the religious, not the proud, but the hungry, the humble, the ones willing to rise to the challenge.
As you pour into others, look for those who are ready to raise the bar with you. They do not need to have it all together. In fact, the best disciples are often the most broken because they know they need Jesus. But they must be willing to grow, willing to surrender all of their lives to God, and willing, most importantly, to be obedient.
Revelations 3:16 gives us a sobering warning. Because you are lukewarm, I will spit you out of your mouth. The other word for that would be vomit. But let's be clear. God is not impressed by comfortable Christianity. He's not calling you to a religious routine, not by any chance. He's calling you to a radical, loving relationship. And that means setting the bar high, not just for yourself, but for the people you walk with and disciple.
Jesus didn't chase the crowds. He often made things harder because he knew the cost of true discipleship. It's not about how many follow, it's about who's willing to follow all the way.
So here's the question for you today. Where in your life have you lowered the bar? Think about it. Meditate on it a little bit. Where have you become complacent? Where are you settling for good enough instead of God's best? And when it comes to discipleship, who are you pouring into or praying about pouring into? Are they faithful? Are they available and teachable? And most importantly, are you? Because the bar isn't just for them, it's for us too.
This week, take time to reflect on these questions. Where is God asking you to raise the bar in your walk with Him? Are you living with daily disciplines that reflect your calling? And who around you is hungry to grow? And are you making space to invest in them?
Friends, we're not called to be average. We're called to be extraordinary because the God we serve is extraordinary. So let's rise up. Let's raise the bar. Let's be the kind of disciples that don't just talk about Jesus, but actually live like Him. And let's find others who are ready to do the same. Have a powerful conversation in your group today. Stay fired up, stay faithful, and I'll see you in session 6. May God richly bless you.